Good morning, it's Craig here, 15th of January, and I've just finished planning Act 6.1 for Chapter 6. So yesterday I mentioned that I did a really big scope out of the entire chapter, and then I wanted to spend a couple of days just on each act to just get the pacing down and what the scene content would be for the 5 scenes across each act. So I completed Act 6.1 this morning, which felt good. It's going to be something that I want to spend more time on when I go through the 4th iteration of outline planning, when I really start to slice the scenes down into smaller parts. But I mean, I think I'm just saying that because it feels like there's so much going on within the act at the moment, which is great. I'm really happy with it. I think it feels real, it feels nice, but I just can feel like I want to get into the details a bit more, which I'm feeling with everything actually. I just feel like this round of outlining is excellent for what it is, and it's really giving full depth and shape to the entire novel. I can feel myself really eager now to wrap up this period of outlining, which could happen in a day or two. I mean, I actually feel like I'd like to do the rest of chapter 6 across the day. I mean, I'm not going to do it during the day. I will do it maybe later this afternoon. I might do a bit more if I feel like it, or in the morning, but I do feel like I've got that momentum now to just knock chapter 6 over, see the second outline period come to a finish, and then start on the 3rd round, which will be making sure all the trajectories, the relationship pathways, the action, the sense of reality, I need to make sure that all is really good and in place. So that's what I'm really keen to do soon, so I'll feel more confident that everything makes sense and then I'll be really keen to get into the 4th round of planning, where I start to thin slice those scenes a bit more. I don't know how long I'm going to spend on the 3rd round of planning. I don't think there's any real timeline. I mean, I'm well on schedule to start the process at the start of March, so it's certainly not a matter of needing to rush anything. I think I'll finish chapter 6 within the next day or two, and then I can start on this 3rd round, and I'd say at least a week. I don't think I'm going to need a huge amount of time, because it's really just making sure that things connect. I think I'm going to write out the sort of new updated version of what every act and chapter and such has within it, in a bit of a summarized way, in a particularly visual fashion, so that I can then draw lines, perhaps like literal lines that just show a particular pathway from one event to the next, to make sure that it's all logical and real, to make sure that there's particular crescendos and decrescendos where they need to be, and so that it all lines up across part 1 and part 2 of the novel. I think maybe 10 days, say a week to 10 days spent on that each day would be enough to be confident in how those things are shaping up. And then, I mean, really, I could, let's say that. Let's just say 10 days for that, because that would bring us around to the end of January, after I finish chapter 6 within the next day or two. Even a fortnight would be fine. And then I think, that would give me a month to spend on the 4th iteration of outlining. I don't know if I need anything more beyond that. I don't think I need a 5th round of editing. The 4th round is going to be taking each scene within each act and dividing it into 3 parts. So it has a beginning, a middle and an end, which will turn 650 words into, say, 200 and, what's that, 10, is that right? 3 times 2, 10, 630. So say around that per, I just had to make sure the maths was right. Yes, so within each scene. And I think given the number of acts across the novel, and the time that it's taken me to do this level of planning, I won't be necessarily inventing new content, which will be a time-saving device. It'll be just taking what's already there and dividing it neatly into 3 parts. I'll be having to rewrite things, rethink about things, represent particular things. In some cases there will be new content made, in cases where I haven't spelled out exactly what's happening precisely in some of those acts. And then we'll go from there. So I think that sounds like a fair plan. By end of January, round 3 is finished. Spend all of February on the 4th round of editing, which will be the final round before I start to jump into the process at the start of March. I think that makes sense. I'm ready for it. Have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.